Hey there YouTube, Travis here. So today we're doing some work here on the Mini-Magnum. I have the seat with a friend right now who's doing some reupholstery work on it. And while that's being done, this is a pretty good opportunity. Today we are going to install the MLM reinforced Puch Maxi swing arm. So the catalyst for this, I've long suspected that this swing arm is bent. This thing had a bent axle when I got it. It had doubles pegs on it. When I get that rear tire in there, I get like 0.5 millimeter of clearance on each side. It's pretty bad. So, this isn't really so much of a how-to. I'm gonna, go step by step with this and kind of talk about some of the other reasons why people might want to make such an upgrade. It's one of the great things about the Puch platform is that there is an awful lot of aftermarket parts available specifically, for the body, the bodies of the Maxis, and in this case, again, remember this originally was a JCPenney Pinto, with the Magnum seat and tank. So without further ado, we're going to start swapping this out. We're going to have to drop the engine so we can easily access the nuts and the bolts. For the swing arms, we're going to drop the motor and then take the back wheel out. Alright, and guys, I'm really not going to be going in order here. If you want really a methodical breakdown of taking a Puch engine off, there's a special dedicated video just for that. But we're going to be focusing on the motor and the rear wheel here. We're going to take this chain off. Now, if you're still rocking the original Bing, of course this will look quite different. We have a Mikuni VM20 here. Okay, and so remember to take a picture of your wiring harness here. This is, almost a completely stock Puch wiring harness. All the wires coming from the stator are actually up here, so I'm going to remove all these. I'm going to release this clutch cable here. Okay, I'm going to be bad here, don't tell anybody, but we're just going to take this rear hanger off here and leave the pipe connected to the cylinder there, just because I just need to drop this engine off, and this will give me more room here to play with the swing arm and going right back on. So, very briefly, we're going to be resting the motor partially on the pipe, but I won't tell anybody if you don't. Okay, now we're going to lean this bike against something. It helps when you've got a pair of Clintons here who are willing. Okay, and we just got our 3 bolts right here, and that should do it. Alright, I just took those 3 bolts out, ended up having to take the pipe off. I couldn't get the bottom bolt out that easily because it was hitting the pipe, so I'm going to put the nut on the other side when I put it all back together here. There it is! Alright, so this next part's pretty easy. I'm just going to start moving over the stuff like the pedal chain tensioner, unbolting the shocks, and then taking the rear wheel out. Actually, I'll probably take the rear wheel out first. And then there's just 4 bolts that hold the swing arm on. The MLM swing arm has 2 welded in studs. It mounts a little differently. So real quick, before we go ahead and take the swing arm off here, I'd like to talk for a quick second about why people typically upgrade the rear swing arm. Mine is bent, obviously, so I'm replacing this one out of necessity, but usually people change out the swing arm in order to run a wider rear tire. And in this case, I also have a 2.5-inch tire, which I'll be installing, because I have a little bit more wiggle room here. I'm using the MLM swing arm today. There's also the robot swing arm, which is available. I'm running that on my blue Puch Maxi, and that has been a positive experience. Also, the Magnum swing arm from a real Puch Magnum is a little wider. If you choose to run that one, it's going to change the direction of the shock. It'll also cause the rear tire to sit a little closer to the fender. With bikes with non-removable fenders, like a Puch Maxi, if you put a Magnum swing arm on a Maxi, it'll make it really difficult to get the rear wheel out in cases of tire changes and other maintenance. So when you want to take the rear wheel out, if you're running the Magnum swing arm, you'll have to unbolt one of the shocks, and then you can just kind of get the whole rear end to pick up that way. And that's one of the nice things about the MLM swing arm, is that it's from a dimensional standpoint, the same as the Maxi. Of course, we're not going to forget our rear brake cable. Okay, and remember here where there's the tab there for the brake plate. Come forward and then slide it out from the rear brake plate. There we go. Now I'm just going to let this gently rest on the swing arm here. Okay, not bad. Alright, we're going to unbolt these two shocks. And once they're all put back together, I've got some nice new 5mm longer hardware to put in here so I can run some buddy pegs on the back of this. If you weren't aware of it already, there's an entire Moped Army wiki page that lists just about every single bolt on a Puch and their length, which makes it super easy when you're in the hardware store just to look at that and find replacement hardware. So there's the original bolts, which I just took out. And then here's the backing plate. So I just pulled really hard on the swing arm side right here and just get that plate to, there we go. Cool. Here's the plate. And then we should have, yes, there's a little rubber grommet, not grommet, there's a little rubber thing here. Yeah. And this one is not in like the most horrible shape. It's not totally disintegrated, but it's had to go all out here with new swing arms, so we've got a nice fresh one to go in. And so here's a comparison of the two swing arms. You can definitely tell, especially at the top here, we're going to be able to run some wider tires, so I'm really looking forward to getting this thing in. Alright, we got that nice new piece of rubber in, and again there's two welded in studs. I guess they're originally bolts, but anyway, two studs, and then we'll have some non-threaded holes here. So we've got some nice new M8 nuts and some replacement bolts. I'm reusing these lock washer things just because I don't have any new ones here, and we'll go ahead and get this thing all bolted in. Oh man, look at that. That looks so good. Got nice new hardware. Got that plate in. Everything's all nice tightened up. Alright, now it's just a simple matter of putting the motor back on and putting that rear wheel back in. Alright, and I'll get that wider tire put on here in the next couple days, but this thing looks so good, and we got so much room. Oh, this is awesome. Alright, and so without having to bore you with the entire reassembly process, I've got the swing arm on, and of course I'll do some riding on it here and be able to provide a more proper evaluation, but as of right now, I really like this thing. The dimensions, as far as, you know, the spacing for the rear wheel here, they were identical. It's the original Puch Swingarm. This went right on. Super happy about it. It looks and feels very solid. The brake plate inside there, as you can see, that went on with no issues. A quick look here at the other side. Yeah, no complaints thus far. I mean, this rear end here is really coming together, and I feel very confident about it. Yeah, just got to put the wider tire on there, which I just really didn't have enough time to today. It's already pretty late. And there's one little flaw in the upholstery, so my buddy is fixing his original job. And then we took some time here to make proper mount for the rear seat. So this is really coming together. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys, you know, what the rear swing arm looks like and what it takes to get at it, and also kind of provide an opportunity here to take a look at a product from MLM, which has only been available in recent years. So, all right, YouTube, well, hope you enjoyed that video. Much more to come. Until next time.